Hello everyone, welcome back to Nukeshot Media for what is a momentous day. It is the finale of ARS World GT Series here at Suzuka. Round 8 of the season, of course, an endurance round. 90 minutes of racing action coming your way later on the show. Qualifying, of course, in 5 minutes time. Joining me in the booth today, a good friend of mine, NS Mika, making his return here in the booth.
Hello, it's me again. It's been a while. It's been a long while. But I'm back, sadly, on ARS for the last time. But let's make the best of it anyway for this 90 minutes.
Yes, of course, another reason for it being a momentous occasion as well. And again, thanks to everyone who's tuning in already. We're going to be seeing some fantastic action, I'm sure. Only 3 points between the top 2 in the championship. That is our main headline going into this. I believe it is between Wake and Joe. I just got to quickly go onto GT Planet to get the actual points tally up. But yes, of course, Mika's quiet apparently. You're quiet on stream, it says from Hagee. Don't know why.
No, it's more the cars are really loud.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know what to do with that. So we're here at Suzuka for the finale. Of course, fantastic season it's been. Mika, if you could quickly give us a summary of the circuit, of course, one that I should at least hope that you're quite familiar with your time in racing.
Yeah, quite familiar with the track. The only track that goes clockwise and counterclockwise. It's a really flowing track. You need to get it right to get the quickest lap, especially the S's and Dunlop corner and the 2 Dagnas. If you get it right, you gain a lot of time. If you mess it up, you lose a lot of time. And of course, the famous 130 are almost flat through there coming into the chicane. Really exciting track, a lot of action to be ahead here. Not a lot of runoff, so we can maybe see a lot of people getting stuck in gravel traps, but don't guess too hard. But I think there's going to be a lot of action. I think the whole field's going to be bunched up.
Indeed, plenty of action to be looking forward to. Qualifying not too far away as well. Looking at these practice times, the top 2 seem to be quite close together at the moment. That's Quinners and Fred Dude at the moment. Of course, a lot of these guys not showing their hands at the moment, such as the 2 in the championship fight. Interested to note as well, of course, with the recent protests in America, plenty of cars here today sporting Black Lives Matter decals in support.
And I also will be driving 1 lap in a black safety car to lead off the pack. Then they will go in a formation lap and then they will start the race just to show off their respects.
Again, still just trying to navigate GT Planet at the moment, so I do apologise.
Oh.
7 people on stream at the moment, thanks to all those tuning in. We have thick Quinners fans, so Quinners has finally invited his fan base back to the stream after about 5 rounds.
It took a while.
Oh dear, good to see you lads. Did Joe get his livery? I'm hearing from Jimmy. Let's see if we can find Joe. I can't tell. Ah, yes it is. There's a decal on the side of the hood there. It is qualifying time, so the car's about to get underway. I finally got the thread up, so apologies for that.
Yes. Roland is the oh no, it's actually Fred who's the first one to come out in his blacked out Nukeshot livery instead of white.
Yeah,
gives it a really aggressive look. I like it.
The idea behind that actually was because I noticed in America in GT Le Mans and also at the Bathurst 12-hour there was factory BMWs that actually ran a black variant instead of the normal white variant. So I thought, what better opportunity for this campaign than to to do something similar.
Indeed, indeed. Everyone already out on track, I think. 9 cars on track right now. Yep, everyone is on track.
So finally adjust my keyboard to be in a position where I can use it.
Accidentally entered instead of pushed on. Let me get back to spectator.
Okay, so Quinn seems to have let a couple cars go by. Splurge got ahead, and Splurge seemed to let Joe go by as well. So just to go through some of the guys we have here today. Of course, Fred Dude, who we mentioned, leading us off at the moment. One last time out at Laguna Seca after an incident-free race. Good result for them.
I think one of the quickest drivers that actually hasn't won a race yet officially.
He has last time out. Just mentioned.
Oh, did he win at Laguna?
It was his first official win after it was taken away at Nürburgring. So he was racing that time, so you might not have remembered it as much.
No.
That's all fine. Other competitors we have here today, of course, Joe 2 Guy, who is one of the 2 guys in the main championship fight here today. One to watch out for. ART Splurge as well in one of the 2 bright orange Arrows Racing Team Porsches.
And we also have the Quinners himself. Oh, everyone loves this guy apparently.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
It's all good, Quinners. Plenty of support already for you.
We also have the Rotato in 5th now.
Yep,
also a more blacked out livery with his picnic tablecloth livery. In 6th, he can also black out livery. He's also the second one to fight for this championship.
Yep, he's been leading the championship most of the time and seems to have had quite a lot of ups and downs throughout the season, but he's always managed to find himself on the end of the race right towards those high points playing positions, and that puts him in this strong position.
Is it whoever finishes ahead wins this championship by so many places?
I believe so. From what I've been informed, if Wake finishes ahead, he wins. If Joe finishes ahead, he ties, I believe, if they all finish in the top 4.
Oh, Wake is leading. I thought Joe was leading.
I can quickly verify this on GT Planet. I'm just gonna have to quickly check at some of these guys, of course, on their laps at the moment.
No, Wake is leading. I'm sorry. Yeah. Wake is on 114 points, whilst Joe's on 111.
The guys about to come and complete their first laps of the qualifying session. Fred Dude to be the first across the line. We're looking at 158s, possibly 57s for pole times, and there's a 157.9 by Fred Dude. I believe that's the fastest we've seen so far, including the practice. Quinners goes second fastest, 6 or 7 tenths back, as Wake actually goes second fastest, less than a tenth back, as small cars continue to cross the line.
Suzuka now in 3rd, but dropping to 4th, followed by Joe in 5th. I think Joe is a pretty big heavy boy as well as Wake. As I also have looked up the point system, if Joe wants to win this championship, he needs to finish ahead of Wake, at least 1 position in between them till 4th, because there's 3 points dividing 4th till 3rd, 21, 18, 15, 12. Then it's 2 points, then he needs to have 2 places in between everyone else, and then Wake to win the championship if it's lower than that. So he needs to finish with ahead of Wake, with 1 person at least in between them, those 2 separating them to win the championship.
Okay, looking at the sectors at the moment, I believe Quinners is on for an improvement at this stage. Just going by this, he's currently 4th. Again, needing to monitor everyone as there's still Quite a bit of the lap to go as the cars make their way up towards 130R. Flag is out. Of course, only 5 minutes as the qualifying sessions here in ARS.
Fred dude, around 130R. He's gonna improve.
Down to the Casio triangle. Or the Hitachi triangle, whatever it's called these days.
Damn triangle.
It's not an improvement for Fred dude.
Is Way gonna improve on his lap time? Is gonna take pole, and he get one more point. Then Joe needs to have 2 positions in between him if he gets pole here. Ooh, 2,000 and Swablu takes pole.
Swablu takes provisional pole position as these guys continue to cross the line. Quinners hasn't improved in the end. I think Rotary did improve. They're up to 7th on that. They're into the 1 minute 59s.
James having had an absolute shocker into 8th.
As Mika has entered the track again, of course, preparing for that lap.
Indeed, I have. Swablu in pole position by 55 hundredths of a second. Fred in second, who is 2 thousandths ahead of TSR Wake. A lot of qualifying in the top 3. Joe in 5th, behind Sir Belgian boy. As I will now look up how much 70 miles an hour is in kilometers now.
So here are your results from qualifying then. 3 cars breaking into the 157 barrier. I thought that might have been around the time for qualifying, but 3 cars already there. It's close indeed at the front of the field. Wake looking to have the edge over Joe at the minute. Didn't quite get that bonus point. That of course goes to pole position sitter Swablu. Congratulations to them. We've seen Swablu seems to have quite a lot of pace in qualifying sessions this season. I recall them doing very well at both Mount Panorama and Interlagos. Of course, Interlagos where they got the pole, and I believe they couldn't start the race, unfortunately. I think that was that. It's either then or Laguna Seca. It might have been Laguna Seca.
I think it was Laguna.
Yes, that might have been it.
No, yeah, I was racing at Laguna, so everything is a bit good for me there.
So of course, congratulations to Swablu. Saw them doing some burnouts earlier on.
Swablu absolutely did a madness there. The full-on whipping excursion, being in that dirty. Some people will say he did an absolute perfect.
Race is going to start 8 PM. That means
I'm going to have a bathroom break as usual.
Yep, 6 minutes to go then. Again, if you're enjoying the stream so far, be sure to leave a like on it. Helps with the exposure of the channel and such. The cars lining themselves up there, the 2 TSR teammates in fine style indeed. Joe managed to qualify 4th in the end, but perhaps hoping for a little bit better. Of course, Mika did mention his car weighed down with a fair bit of ballast at this stage. Hello to Turn 1 in the chat, nice having you along here as well. Emilius, Amuda, Jimmy, of course, and Hagee. Everyone that's been in chat so far, thanks for your continued support throughout the whole season, as well as this finale event. This gives us a chance to look at the full championship information going into this. Wake leading the Drivers' Championship on 114 points from Joe Tugai on 111. James on 83 points, just a bit too far off to be in this championship fight, unfortunately for them. TSR Stig in 4th, they're on 78 points, so still potential for battle throughout the field, though actually Stig isn't here, it would seem, so that's unfortunate to not see him here. Nevertheless, Fred Dude on 73 points. Now Fred has a good result here, they could jump up a couple positions in the championship, perhaps to 3rd, we'll have to see how that works. Quinners on 58 points. Could still get a bit of a jump over some of the other guys, depending on how their races go. Swablu 54 points, they're upholstered us, so Quinner's under a bit of threat from them in the championship at the moment if things continue as they are. Rotary on 35 points. I believe that might have been a racing number of theirs at one point. Well, someone that I know. Anyway. Oh wait, no, that's GRM Bandit. What am I on with? Y-Bear on 30 points. They're in 9th. 10th place is ART Splurge. They're on 17. 16 points for Amuda in 11th. So Amuda could get into the top 10 from the end of the championship. All they need to do is, I believe, just score. Since they're just finish 1 point back.
Splurge.
Yeah. Oh, of course, Splurge is here. For a second, I thought Splurge wasn't here for whatever reason.
No, he is here this time around.
Of course. Sota in 12th place. A certain commentator boy in 13th place on 4 points, and John Wandering on 2 points in 14th. Now, looking to the team's championship, Simpact Gojira, the Nissan team ran by Simpact, they're on 192 points. That plays 165 by the main Team Simpact Racing group. Now, with there only being one Nissan and both Mercedes here, that could be an interesting one to watch out for. Nukeshot x Starscream Enterprises, the BMW team, they're on 103 points, far too far back to be challenging those top two. Arrows Racing Blue still ahead of the main Arrows Racing team, 4th and 5th respectively. 8 points separating those two, 83 place 75. Paradox Order Works, that's the Jaguar ran by Rotary, they're on 35 points, and Golden Bear Motorsport on 18 points, down in 7th.
Sorry, just picked up something.
It's alright. Man's doing some weightlifting here in the booth.
Oh, in the booth, always them gains, you get me? Always getting them lifts.
Typical.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Anyway, this stream now brought to you by a different type of liquid product. It's as mad as that might sound. It's I think it's some kind of Vimto thing. It's like raspberry, orange, and passion fruit. I think it looks like radioactive. Plutonium. Yeah, it looks completely unhealthy. Well, they don't call us Nukeshot for nothing.
Atomic injectables and that.
Yeah, big up Atomic Injectables. Big up Jet Wilkinson while we're at it as well.
Oh, big up that guy. Oi, oi.
Swablu just noting Fred being quite quick in Sector 2. Yes.
No, he's still in the pits. He's chilling.
Not quite as quick. That's Sector 3. That's probably why I can't see anything, right?
No, Fred is still chilling in pit lane.
Oh no, I'm just going on to the live timing, which still records some data.
I was gonna say pit road. I've watched too much NASCAR recaps.
It's all fine. I'm sure everyone knows what you're talking about. Hello, Chris Jones. I believe that is GT Welsh.
Is that this? I thought that was some Matt singer in that.
They probably both. But yes, thanks again for tuning in to what is hopefully going to be a fantastic race. Here we're seeing Wake.
Wait a minute. Why is turn 1 in this chat? Oh no, it's probably this.
Yeah.
Where's the password for that?
I was going to say, like, he's probably on both accounts, just adding to the viewership, helping the stream out. Big up to you.
Indeed.
Yes. Let's have a look at the lap count, actually. Bit of interesting information. 44, so that's going to be 42 laps of racing here today. 5 laps is going to be the minimum for a tyre stint. So all those that start on mediums will probably go to what will be lap 7 on the top counter, because you take away the 2 for the 2 formation laps. So that's something to look out for. Race is about to start.
The final will begin, as we will probably go in a lap of silence.
Indeed, of course, for the riots and the protests that have been going off in America, of course. George Foreman as well lost his life. A lap of both remembrance and silence for, of course, this movement that has been happening. And with that, we go on to the formation lap. First of all, apologies, I may have got the name wrong. I believe it was George Floyd that tragically lost their life.
It's okay. If you maybe can give me a heads up when everyone has passed the pit lane.
I believe everyone has, yes.
So I'm back in the booth again. Correct run.
Okay, so back to the formation lap then, as racing about to get underway shortly. Of course, 9 viewers now on stream. Thank you all for tuning in. fastest sector times for Swablu in Sector 1.
Oh, mad pace, isn't it? As we have 44 laps, we're already on 2. Your dad is 44.
Still calling man for a draw.
You donut.
Dear. Hello to John Wandering in chat, nice having you along as well. Unfortunate that you're not able to make the race, but nice having you here nevertheless. Now, one thing I want to quickly look at before we get started, let's check strategies. We have Swablu on softs, Fred on softs, Wake on softs. Now this is interesting.
Top 3 on softs,
yeah.
Then we go to a medium.
Yep,
Medium.
with Quinners.
Another medium. Another medium. Another medium. And another medium. It's only the top 3 starting on the soft tires.
Right, so the top 3 are going to try and break away here. Now normally we see it's only the first position or the first 2 that go for the softer compound at the start. Interesting to see that the top 3 have. It's an interesting call by Wake. He's going to be trying his best to make up positions quickly.
As we are coming into the back straight before starting Le Race, Spanish Grand Prix. Big up Matt Gallagher and that.
Oh, of course, ex-Matty G. Car's about to form up double file then, as we make our way towards 130R.
Thousands upon thousands of horsepower ready to race here.
9-car grid, so points on offer for the entire table. Hopefully every car makes it to the end. We're about to see how things develop now. They're making their way through what I'm going to refer to for the rest of the stream as the Casio Triangle. Fight me in real life, I don't know.
1v1 me on Turismo, please.
As they come across the timing line, the race will go green. Here we are, the finale of ARS at Suzuka. It is green, 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 and the cars are off. Fred Dude seems to just jump ahead.
Fred.
Seems to slot
Ronan
ahead.
also really good away now, up into 3rd. Wake falling down to 4th. Joe now in 2nd. He basically has that position ready in between him for...
Fred goes wide. Fred goes wide.
Oh, and he's off. Fred has gone into the gravel trap there. Oh no, Swablu is now in the lead. Then Roland in 2nd. Right up Swablu still. Is he going to try around the outside here? Maybe throw a Wake up the inside of Joe there. Which puts Wake in a great position to win this championship already, but the race is not over yet.
Interesting to note, Quinn has actually made up a position on Wake off the start. Remember the top 3 were on softs. Roland now finds themselves in 2nd on a pair of mediums. This puts them in a very good situation.
Swablu now leading from after having a great start, starting from pole position, dropping back, but then leading again.
Oh, seems that rotary went a little bit over the AstroTurf. They managed to gather it back up on the exit of Degner 2 as they make their way through the hairpin for the first time of racing.
So we have a big train here. Joe maybe trying to overtake Wake as soon as possible to get that position back. Every point counts at this moment.
Of course, here we are watching the Joe 2 guy. I'm just going to quickly adjust my settings there. I'm going to go on board with him as we make their way towards 130R. Switch to the rear wing cam there. You can see Splurge also in the Porsche looking in hot pursuit at the moment. It would seem that the Nissan putting itself to use on the straight again. We know that performance of that, as it would seem Swablu had a slight lag spike on my screen at least. And Swablu's disconnected.
Oh no, Swablu's left, which puts Roland in the lead.
Quinners is in the lead. And there's some side-by-side action. I think Amuda, something happened with Amuda and Fred, I think. That happened.
Yeah, Amuda and Fred are now side by side almost. No, not yet.
It looked like Fred tried to go around the outside of Casio.
Oh, his Wake goes round the outside of Roland. Wake has gone up into 1st.
Gonna get a replay of this one then. Let's see how it happened on the straight. Quinn has defended the inside. Wake had to go to the outside. can make a move around the outside of turn 1 as well. Very risky though, manages to get it done. Quinn is not as committed on the brakes. Wake's starting to pull away. That start on the soft compound seems to have paid off as others have faltered around them.
Joe now is getting... Oh, SW is now back.
Joe took of course on a different strategy with the medium compound, but nevertheless still behind another medium runner at this stage, with Quinners ahead of him.
Yes. Fredwood has fallen off again. Fredwood now 6 seconds behind. Amula there, what happened there?
Have they got damage, either of them? No.
Maybe just the spin.
Possibly.
The first corner being really tricky here. Be surprised if it actually happened into the first corner here.
Perhaps he's just trying to find his braking point again after the break between qualifying. Wake with a 1.7 second gap now. So he is pulling away. He's broken slipstream range, which is crucial as he goes off charging into the distance. Of course, everyone behind him on a harder compound of tyres, or at least everyone immediately behind him doing so. Hello to Martin in chat. Nice having you along here, supporting Joe.
He's supporting me too, so as Wake goes quickest for now.
Side by side between the Paradox Jaguar and the ARS Racing Blue Aston Martin, Rotary goes to 5th.
Is James going to send it down the inside? Oh, they almost touched there.
Very good racing.
He's still holding off James.
Up to 25 comments in chat. I've just been notified. Nice having you guys along here. 12 viewers as well. Fantastic viewership here for the finale of ARS, the World GT Series. Shout out to MF Lord for liking my activity, by the way. Apologies me for cutting you off.
As Fred now is back, and Amuda again is... Oh, as he goes from the inside, almost at the Dunlop.
Oh, side by side through Degna 1. Little bit of onion barges.
Side by side through Degna 2 too as well. Still side by side. Fred, of course, having the inside advantage at the hairpin. A little bit of contact made there, but does Fred make the move stick? And yes, Fred does stick, which moves him back up to P7.
Be interesting to see if Amuda and the Lexus will be able to gain something in the slipstream as they're making their way towards the back straight as well. Going to some of the battles again that are a bit up the field as well. Quinn is not. Rotary still having to fend off James as they come onto the straight. Will that Aston Martin be able to do anything as they head up towards 130? I think he's not close enough on this occasion.
He hangs back for now. What is he going to go for? Move into the Cassia triangle. Find me if it's the Hitachi triangle.
Seems to hold back for now. Again, just thinking he can set something up perhaps onto the straight. He's a lot closer this time around. And so indeed, Rotary going defensive.
Between as Joe is trying to make a move around the outside here.
A little bit of contact between the two.
Is he going to make it stick? Joe still on the outside, off. Roland there. Now up the inside. Oh, they make a bit of contact.
He's in a bit of a orange sandwich at the moment, it would seem.
Splurge now looking for a position. Trying to take that third away from Joe here. Big trade here. Is he gonna try to pass Roland somewhere in the hairpin maybe? He's right up his gearbox. Splurge also not giving away any space to catch up, to also overtake for second.
Now here's the interesting thing, with Joe being on the attack and on the defensive at the same time, he can't afford to make as many moves as he normally would, as he now finds his way up the inside. Does he know? Can't quite get the traction on the Porsche, especially that tighter end exit. But yeah, he can't make too ambitious moves because there you see now Splurge closing up on him. Any mistake that Joe might make in a maneuver, that will lead to that other Porsche going up the inside.
Try on the inside of Spoon. He is Mod's gonna try it here.
I think it's better off it for now.
Splurge gonna try to make a move to 130R.
Oh, Rotary also breaking a bit of slipstream, it would seem, a bit further back.
Joe's gonna send it into the discussion triangle, maybe?
No, he backed out of it. Oh no, wait, that was Quinners overshooting it! Quinners overshot it right into the wall. That's a single car incident. That won't be a full course caution. Let's have an onboard look at that again. I think.
I thought Joe was trying to send it, but I think Ronan breaks up. Splurge is going to try it around the outside of Joe into the first corner to make a little bit of contact there. Oh! Swabler sliding a bit. Is he going to try to keep it on track? Joe still has the position. Not giving an inch.
Swablu, I think you meant Splurge on that occasion. I'm going to have a replay then of this. Let's see, look how defensive Joe went on the straight, right up against the wall. Splurge giving him a lot more room on the outside there, and then Joe coming across. And look how close these guys ran. Again, that is extremely risky going through turn 1. So easy to run wide, as we saw unassisted by Fred Dude on the opening lap. Easy to make a mistake, but these guys managed to run side by side.
Fred is also right there overtaking Roland. Fred is right up Roland's rear bumper.
So Quinn has dropped all the way down to 6th after that mistake at Casio, and now Fred on their way, making their way back up the order after a couple of mistakes earlier on, looking to see if they can get past Quinners.
Oh, she gets a little bit loose there.
Will the BMW be able to get a run down to Spoon? More likely to get a run up towards 130R, I think. Porsche not that strong on the straights.
Porsche goes to deep again.
He's gone off! He's gone off again!
He's gone deep again!
Another mistake from Quinners, just clipping the AstroTurf, maybe running on some marbles or something, though it is early on for that to be the case, and just making that mistake there. Costing another
Joe is
position.
going so defensive on Splurge there. Right up the putting the car right on the inside, not giving him an inch. Is he going to have a run here? As Joe goes into the pits trying to change on the soft tires, I presume.
Yep, that's, as I mentioned earlier on in the stream, that's the lap 7 mark on your screen, but that's 5 laps of racing, as we had 2 formation laps, so that is the medium stint done for Joe. Immediately switching to the softer compound. Where's he come out? In a bit of traffic, it would seem. Actually, no, clear air for now. Rejoins in 6th, as you say. Car up ahead is Fred Dude. So he slots in between Fred and Quinners, with around a 2.5 second gap between both of them, so in clear air at the moment.
But this can also give Splurge, if Joe catches up with the 2 guys ahead, he can be held up a bit, which gives Splurge a good window to maybe go for the overcut.
That might be a corner cut penalty there, it looked like, through Degner 1. Although the game says otherwise, it looked a bit marginal, but again, I've been wrong on many occasions, so I'm not in any position to say anything. As Splurge makes their way through. 12 seconds the gap between 1st and 2nd, by the way. That shows the kind of pace Wake has got on that soft compound of tyres in early stages. Hello to the Mew in chat. Nice having you along. Not overly familiar with your username, at least in a localized community. Nevertheless, nice having you along. Of course, welcome to the stream. Of course,
Field looking like it has settled down a bit now.
Just a bit. Fred is catching to the back of James. So, Fred, we saw they had good pace in qualifying. Not quite their way at the moment in the race, but they are making positions up. Now they're catching to essentially the battle for 3rd already.
Now Splurge into the pits, as James is also following him.
That's the other medium runners.
Rotary is also following him. All into the pits now, which puts Joe back up into 3rd. Is he gonna be out ahead of? He is ahead of Splurge now.
Yep.
by quite some time.
I think he might have been ahead of Splurge anyway at that point before the stops. I could be wrong.
So, yeah.
But the gap seems to have extended nevertheless. Those extra laps on the softer compound really making a difference around Suzuka as to what I would describe as probably more of a handling circuit than a power circuit, one might say. You could say the last sector and the start-finish straight counteracts it quite a bit, but it's the rest of it very twisty indeed. I mean, just look at the S's and the hairpin and such. It's a good balanced circuit. I should think it would favour the Porsche quite well, but it's the Mercedes currently doing that.
Especially the first two sectors.
Swablu in chat complaining about his Wi-Fi. Unfortunate, again, that you managed to take the pole position and disconnect. Maybe stop taking pole positions, because that seems to be the connection there, Swablu. Ah, okay. You're one of the Half the Race Gone viewers. Well, fantastic having you along here as well. Of course, I've done a bit of work for Half the Race Gone in the past. I was on the 24 Hours for Anna charity live stream, as well as some other stuff. Known Durton for a good while. I should hope that we're friends by now.
Best friend that runs a bit on the cross that gets a bit loose.
Oh, as we're now seeing James catching to the back of Rotary here. Aston versus Jaguar, two British marks, making their way through 130R. Rotary seems a bit more confident, taking a bit more of a cut through there, using a bit of AstroTurf. Still two wheels on the tarmac though, so perfectly legal. Now will the Aston be able to set something up onto the straight? We're going to go rear wing cam here on the Jaguar, just seeing how the Aston closes up on the straight. The Aston very good on the straights. The Jaguar also not too much of a slouch on the straights. Oh, you see the difference in lines. Of course, the dirty air also coming into effect as well for James as he follows. Flash of the lights there. Don't know whether that was an intimidation of Rotato mid-corner or just saying hello to all of our fans at the moment. 14 of you watching the stream at the moment. Fantastic to see. You can also hear that supercharged engine of the Jaguar from this camera. Fantastic note. Through the deck.
We're the new generation. F1. I mean, like, this is more exciting than F1 in my opinion.
Well, given the fact F1 hasn't been happening, there is that. So,
yeah.
we do have a slight advantage in that one. That the COVID-19 pandemic hasn't necessarily affected this as much as real life. Home Alone reference.
James is trying to go on the inside.
Look at this!
Spoon.
That looked a bit risky. It seemed that the closing speed seemed to back out of it just in time before Rotato made his way to the apex, otherwise that could have been...
He gets a great run out of Spoon here. Maybe he's going to be on the inside at 130R.
Oh, James is looking quite close, isn't he? And he is looking for it.
Yes, he is on the inside.
Rotary has to give him room. Oh, and James is wide. Onto the AstroTurf.
Keeps it just about on track, not losing the car, almost hitting the grass.
No, well,
he almost goes a bit deep into Casio Triangle, which also allows Roman to catch back up again from P7.
Yeah, James nearly dropping out of slipstream range. Still just about in it. So we'll still have a bit of a defence against that Porsche. Although, of course, the Aston, more of a straight line car anyway, compared to the Porsche. Like most cars compared to the Porsche. Unless you drive a Z4, of course. But
that's why we got that in GT MES.
Yes, of course. But interesting to note as well, how James did drift wide and onto the AstroTurf through 130R. That also affected his braking capacity with the dirty tyres going into the Casio Triangle. That nearly overshot it as well. So a very close call there for James.
As Roland is now catching up to James quite hard now.
The Porsche really catching up.
Especially in these two sectors. He's got the upper hand.
Oh, James pulls off to the side. He lets him go.
Wait a minute. Team orders.
What's this? Multi-21?
What? They literally went, James, it's James.
It literally is James, it's James. They're on the same tyre strategy, which is interesting to know. However, it would just seem that James, feeling that Quinners perhaps just has the pace to challenge for a better result here.
Or maybe bringing him to Rotato again.
That could also be a strategy. Interesting strategy as well, though, because the Porsche's lack of straight line capability compared to some of the other cars like the Aston. But nevertheless, as Fred Dude is currently second, of course they started on the soft compound, dropped all the way down, a lot of the medium runners have switched over, so Fred's still due a pit stop, as is Wake. They are in second. They have the fastest lap of the race, is what I was going to say, at 157.820, so definite qualifying pace by them at this stage.
It's not far from their qualifying pace.
Joe, who I believe is the first of the guys that have made a pit stop, they're in third and very close to the back of Fred actually. Not in slipstream range, but only 2.5 seconds back from them.
James still keeping up with Roland here. Roland slowly but surely catching up to Rotato. You can see the Porsche, how strong it is through these sectors here. Closing up a lot, gaining a lot of time on Rotato here. In slipstream range right now. Also up on his own time.
Interesting to also note as well, Rotary's catching up on Splurge. The gap 1.4 seconds, so just outside slipstream range of what I will always say is 1.3. No matter how many times people tell me otherwise.
I thought it was always 0.7.
It used to be, but there was an update that changed it. So the new one's around 1.3. Most people say 1.5, but that's like measly slipstream. So not much point.
Just like me in this whole big world.
Can we have some F's in chat from my boy Mika?
I'm big set.
Oh dear. Well, 10 racing laps into this. It is Wake who is leading the race and leading the championship from Fred Dude in second. Joe, who is second in the championship, meanwhile, he is in third. On a different strategy to Wake, things could definitely pan out differently as we go into the race. I don't want to be summoning the commentator's curse or anything, but we haven't had a full course caution yet, have we?
Indeed, we haven't. Let's make that happen.
Oh, as soon as I see that, I see 4 cars in one camera shot from Jack Wilkinson. Oh, great.
There's not going to be any crashes happening tonight. It's all going to be very safe and good driving.
It seems to be that way at the moment. Rotary definitely managing to catch Splurge at this stage. As Splurge makes a mistake!
Oh, no!
Single car incident there, of course. No damage or collision with anyone else. Just seemed to run a little bit wide over that AstroTurf again. I think we did a good job capturing that. Sorry, Splurge.
I'm so sorry, Splurge.
Oh dear, there it is. You spin me right round, baby, right round. It's not even Rotato rotating around this time. But oh dear, bad jokes. Welcome to Nukeshot Media.
Oh no.
Did I introduce the channel as Nukeshot Media or Nukeshot Motorsport at the start of the stream? I don't even know. Oh dear. As look at this between Rotary and Roland. Quinn is going deep into the hairpin.
Is he gonna make a mistake? No, he's going for traction maybe.
Porsche is good on traction. Always traditionally so. Looking perhaps a move into Spoon. It's very difficult to set up a move for Spoon. Risky as well. Seems to be sticking high for now as Amuda goes into the pits from their medium. So they actually had an interestingly long medium stint, did Amuda. Interesting switch up on the strategy, hoping to gain some positions by doing something different.
As Amuda is into the pits now, late pits in for Amuda.
Rotary, very defensive.
The insider is going to stay back. He's going to stay back, almost rubbing bumpers there.
Yeah, almost bumper.
Is he going to send it around the outside, maybe inside?
No. Good defensive work by Rotary, though he goes a bit deep, and I think Quinners is going to get a bit better traction. Making their way through the final corner, are they? Will definitely get a chance to have a run on them, going onto the straight. Here we are, bumper cam yet again, or bonnet cam, whatever you call it.
You sound like an Australian bumper cat.
Oh dear, last time I did an Australian accent, words, I can't even say my, I can't even do my own accent. Like, anyway, last time I did an accent, everyone told me to shut up, so...
That's why I always do the accents. Leave that to me.
Yeah, leave that to the professional there.
Oh.
It's a gaggle in chat from Martin. Indeed, it's a gaggle, it's a giggle as well. So we're seeing... Oh dear, don't laugh at that. That was a horrific joke. The novice decal on the back there of Rotary's car.
Joke. Oh, is he going to try setting up inside of Degna 1?
Just sticking behind for now.
Maybe going to try to send it in the hairpin time.
Oh!
Is he? Oh,
contact.
He does make a little bit of contact. Now having the inside.
Bit of a bump and run. He lifts off the throttle there, allows the Jaguar to get away. Good sportsmanship there by Quinners.
As we have that Quinners fan, I'm not gonna say PG in that.
No, you can probably refer to them as Fat Quinners fan, I suppose.
Fat boy.
Yes, Fat boy.
Wait, you're fat?
But no, not you, fam. Shut up. I just said fam on stream. What am I doing with my life?
Oh, fuck.
So, anyway, that lift has actually brought James back into this decent-sized slipstream of Quinners again. So these three's really starting to close up.
So we're going in out of the 3-car train. Rotary not giving an inch to Roland here, but trying to get a run on him.
It was a very agile turn-in from the Jaguar, going through Casio Triangle, it looked like. At least from the camera work of Jack Wilkinson, it looked like it. Oh, just going onto the grass on the outside. That could unsettle the car going through here. Doesn't on this occasion.
Big up Jack Wilkinson, though.
Of course.
Yes.
It's good to see.
Tries to find a way past, but he just can't.
It's good to see the Jaguar doing well here today. Of course, Rotary has been having a bit of pace issues throughout the season. However, he's doing a very good job at the moment in 4th.
Rotary, of course, turning at least very consistent finishing spots. I think he's never finished outside of the top 10.
Yes, I believe that is a stat. Of course, 8 cars here today.
Leguer, yeah. As he tries around the outside again.
It's going to be difficult. If you're going to try something like that, it's best to set up a switchback.
But he gets a really good run there.
As down the inside he goes, it'll be the outside for Spoon. We're about to see who is braver on the brake.
Oh, there's a little bit of wheel banging. Is there like a bit of contact there? Does Rotary go deep? Rotary losing some time there. But on the exit gains the time back again, which also gives James in the straight line speed monster a lot of pace to catch up. As also it allows Splurge to catch up as well.
Switching to some of the figures here, you can see the kind of speed they're able to carry, around 145 miles an hour through 130R into Casio Triangle, dropping down into the 50s. As oversteer from Rotary on exit, seem to have trouble putting the power down, having to go defensive against Quinners, giving the old Rosberg squeeze. We could be seeing 3 wide if James wants it. No, backs out of it.
Maybe gonna give him a little bump draft.
Rotary's
allowed anymore, right?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure. That's the topic for something else anyway. It's league dependent, as what I believe the SRF decided as.
Wait a minute. Martin, did you just make a Brooklyn 99 reference? A bit of a car fuffle. I'm sorry, I'm addicted to this. Oh, as he goes around the outside. Are they going to go side by side into the Degnas?
Quinners gets the move done.
Pulls back in as Roland now is up into 4th position.
It looked like he might have run a little bit wide through Degna 1 on exit, manages to gather it back up. All this is actually bringing Splurge back into the equation. I'm going to see if I can get a replay of this. So here you see contrasting lines. It was a bit of a switchback through Dunlop, Nice move there by Quinners, managing to get the inside and then managed to get the overtake finalised going into Degner 1. We now go back to the live footage where we see James attacking the Jaguar. Look at this fantastic dueling between these guys for 4th, 5th and 6th. Wake into the pits meanwhile. Our race leader, they're going to be switching over to a different compound of tyres, are they? We're going to see. They could go for another set of softs, or they could feel they could get their medium stint out of the way while they have the gap. But look at this side by side. Is he going to do the Alonso on Schumacher? No, can't quite get it done. He runs wide. Narrowly matching the grapple.
He's going to miss his braking point, maybe.
No, he manages to hold on to it, but James is going around the outside of Casio and gets it done. The Jaguar's going to lose 3 positions nearly. Look at Splurge.
Splurge now also going for it. Is he going to make it? Splurge.
Look at his side by side. And James tactically giving the slipstream to his Arrows teammate. Fantastic scenes. And Splurge gets the move done.
Splurge gets the 4th position. This is absolutely insane.
What teamwork there by the Arrows lads for making 3 overtakes for all 3 of their cars. Fantastic racing. Great teamwork as well by James giving the slipstream. That was absolutely epic. Oh my life.
I felt like you almost lost your voice halfway through there.
Oh dear.
I started laughing.
The Mew in chat saying blimey, that's about right.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Our voice is ropey.
Hey, a reminder, we're only 15 laps into this race out of 42.
Oh my heart can handle this.
If you're enjoying this fantastic action, be sure to leave a like on stream. And again, never mind, I'll cut myself off as Splurge nearly gets a run on James, but of course...
Joe has gone into the pit lane, Martin. He's switching to... He did go into the pit, yeah, the top 3 runners all went into the pit lane except Wake. Fred also went.
Yes.
That's why they're in 2, 3, 4 and 5 now.
So Joe, because he started on the mediums, I believe that's the 2nd stop for Joe.
Yeah.
So he's the most stops of anyone. He's in 7th place at the moment. Of course, as I was saying, again, continue with your support. If you want, of course, we will be continuing with more Arrows Racing Series coverage of the next season, I believe. So be sure to subscribe with notifications if you want to stay in tune for that. As James makes a mistake! What's happened to James?
Now look at this! Now.
It's going to be a drag race. Now will Splurge repay the favour by giving his teammate the slipstream?
But Roland giving his teammate a bit of slipstream here.
The move sticks. As I'm going to now just quickly see if I can see what happened to James. He may have just overshot going into Casio, maybe made a mistake. Oh, bit of grass on of cutting 130R, but then yeah, he just missed his braking point, it would seem, on that AstroTurf. Good of them to slow themselves down enough to not cut themselves completely off the track.
Yes.
Oh, and breathe. Interesting note, Fred.
Oh, James goes off!
As James has spun, James spins and nearly collides with Fred as he came through. I'm gonna have to see if I can get my replay.
It's now Joe!
Collision between Joe and James! Unbelievable scenes, what on earth is going off here? So James,
I have no idea.
James somehow was on the inside of Degner 2, nearly collided with Fred, and then Joe. What happened with them and Joe? Joe just seemed to dive up the inside on the grass partially, a bit of an aggressive one there, manages to get the move to stick. Now, can we have a bit of a damage report, I think, after that? I don't know who was hit. Everyone avoided damage somehow from all of that. There may have been a little bit of contact.
Roland is on really low fuel.
Oh, that's interesting of note. Quinners, who was in 2nd, they're going to be making a pit stop soon. Speaking of soon, there we go. They're into the pits. Splurge promote themselves up to second. Amuda about to go a lap down there in that Lexus. We saw them battling with Fred earlier on in the race. Fred now third. There you see. Now let's see. Actually, that's quite fresh tyres there. So Fred's managing to find themselves up the order again on strategy after their mistakes earlier on. Joe in fourth again. Seem to do quite well, but Wake still leading this race. If it was to finish as is, Wake is champion, may I remind you. Mika's controller's battery is dead or something, I assume, so he'll be with us again shortly once he manages to find a power source. Speaking of power sources, Atomic Injectable, supported by Nukeshot since 2018. Also, big up to Vimto for this fantastic raspberry, orange and passion fruit concoction that I am having as a beverage. Again, if anyone actually does want to sponsor a product, then whilst please, I'm jobless. Whilst I need the money. Anyway, let's have a bit of a rundown then. What's the gap like? 19 seconds Wake has over everyone else. It's been a very good race by them. They're starting on the soft compounded tyres. They're still on a soft compound, so they're yet to use the mediums this race. Probably going to save it for a ladder stint where they've got enough of a gap that they won't lose any time at all. So they're just continuing in the clean air at the moment, and why wouldn't you? Good strategy there by the Belgian. We have Splurge, who is in second place, but lower on fuel. They'll be needing to come into the pits. They're making their way through. Do they go into the pits now? No, they stay out. Could be interesting to see how Fred Dude, who's in third, will be able to potentially catch and attack one. They're on fresher tyres, of course. More fuel, so they're on a longer stint. They didn't pit too long ago. Joe, who is in fourth, the other championship hopeful. Then 3 points is the gap between them and... Oh, and that's Fred actually, that's spun around. What's happened there? Fred making a mistake. Oh, he's going to have to rejoin safely. Yep, let's clear air. What happened to Fred? Is it the same that happened to him on the opening lap? We're about to find out after this commercial break. Just kidding, we're not going away from the action. Oh yeah, definite overcooked it. And that slight few centimeters over the AstroTurf, enough to unsettle the car. Such an easy mistake to make. That's going to drop them down the order a bit. Although they only lost one position. So that puts Joe up to the podium positions as Rotary into the pits. Quinner's 5th, James in 6th, Rotary, they're in 7th, and in 8th place, Amuda spun, and there's a collision here. What on earth has happened here? Collision between Amuda and Fred Dude. There's a potential for a full course caution here. We're gonna see what happened, both perspectives. So Amuda, I think they may have made a mistake on their own, did they? So just getting on the throttle a bit too eager indeed. They span around and Fred Dude collects them. Indeed, full course caution is called. The race has been neutralized just before the halfway distance mark. We're going to now see what happened from Fred Dude's perspective. Alright, just Fred not having any luck here today. There's the Spanamuda. Not expecting it, Fred straight into him. As the car's now under full course caution, that's going to bring Wake's lead down. Several of these guys going into the pits. Of course, not only for repairing damage, but also to switch up their strategies. There was a slight suspicion Quinn has passed under full course caution. Hagee just did a quick check. Good on him for being able to do that. Again, that's a very difficult thing to do as a race director, is manage to catch those kind of things. So good that he was able to review that. Well, mid-race anyway, it's difficult to do that. I know I have enough trouble with the commentating side of things and the managing of the camera work. Besides, of course, Jack Wilkinson. In fact, there is Jack Wilkinson there, on the inside of the hairpin. So that's going to put the two championship rivals closer together. And the interesting thing at this stage, Joe has done their medium stint. Wake hasn't. Wake hasn't done a medium stint, and these guys are closing up together. Sure, the GDR seems to have the pace at this stage, mainly because of the clear air and, of course, the straight line capability. Of course, to those not overly familiar with the ARS Racing Series, it does have a special balance of performance designed to stop it being too crazy on the straights. Nevertheless, it still has a bit of that characteristic. So these guys closing up. So that puts Wake at a disadvantage. Oh, things really getting spicy. And it's the two ARS Racing Porsches of the main ARS Racing team in third and fourth. And we're hearing that Amuda's going to get their lap back, so Amuda's going to be able to move back up on strategy as well to the back of the field on the lead lap. Nice of the race director to do that. Also, good place for that to happen as well, as they're catching the queue on the start-finish straight. So hopefully these guys will be smart enough to not weave into him. Just stay out the way. Indeed, Amuda's sticking close to the wall. Good on them. Everyone's well behaved at this stage. Plenty of action so far. We're just coming up to the half race distance marker. Fred Dude's still the fastest lap, although a collision with him and Amuda at the hairpin has brought out this full course caution. I believe we're going to be a couple laps away from it going green again. All the cars are repaired. I believe everyone's done their pit stops, so it's just waiting for Amuda to get their lap back, as they should. Gives us a good chance to run through the point system and see how things are shaping up. So of course, Wake is leading the championship by 3 points over Joe. 114 plays 111. That's the main one we're looking for here. It's 21 points for a win, 18 points for second. So if Joe was first and Wake second, then it would be a tie on points between the two of them, and then it goes to most podiums. I believe it was discussed in Discord, which I believe would go the way of Wake. It's a difficult one. I'm not actually 100% sure, but it would go down to something like that. If Wake wins, then he just wins as championship leader. That's generally just how it works. If Wake finishes third and Joe wins, then it would be Joe taking the championship. But if Joe finished second and Wake finished third, then it would again be a tie. So again, very interesting how the dynamic is working. Of course, you can check it out on GT Planet. It is the SRF ARS World GT Series. Of course, the final endurance round here today at Suzuka, if that wasn't obvious to any of those that may have just joined the stream. Instead of Radio Lemon, I should probably get Radio Radish or something, I don't know. Go on lads, make the fireworks happen, from Martin in chat. And indeed it is extremely close. going through some more stuff on GT Planet at the moment. Where is Amuda on circuit? Is another interesting question. They're down at Spoon. So it could be this and one more lap, I think. Possibly until we get a restart. We'll have to see. Things, of course, quieting down as the motor actually goes a bit wide, as he's just trying to catch up. Gotta be careful that he doesn't crash under full course caution as well. Of course, even though he is trying to catch up, does still have to drive in a somewhat safe manner. The front and back of the car quite scratched up from some of the collisions. Oh, as he nearly does a Fred dude and loops it. You see how close he got to the AstroTurf. Oh, and in fact he does loop it. He's into the gravel. So, again, perhaps just a little bit of impatience on his part, as he's trying his best to catch up to get racing again soon. Do not worry about it. There's still plenty of racing laps to go. Although race director Heggie asking him to hurry up. Go through a rundown of everyone at the moment. It is Wake in the lead at the halfway point of this race, followed by Joe in second. Quinners on track for a very good result, one of his best of the season, in third. Things stay as they are. Splurge in the other Arrows Racing Team Porsche in fourth. ART James makes a 3-4-5 for the Arrows lads. They're in the Arrows Racing Blue Aston Martin. Fred Dude in the BMW M6 of Nukeshot Starscream. They're in sixth place after many tribulation, most of which single car incidents. Of course, this one with the incident with a Muda at the hairpin causing this full course caution. Rotary in seventh for the Paradox Auto Works, as I don't quite think it's going to be safe enough to go green this time around. We're going to probably need one more lap, unless it might just be close enough. It's difficult to tell. To the race director's discretion, I think we are just going to have one more lap, because it's far too close now. Indeed, as Amuda goes into the pits. Okay, we're now hearing restart this lap, so that is indeed confirming one extra lap. Amuda into the pits, going on to a fresh set of softs. He's going to rejoin at the back of the field, where he would rejoin anyway. So everyone bunched back up. Mika still absent, unfortunately. Can we have some F's in chat for my co-commentator? Still probably trying to find some power source or something for his controller. Either that or he's just muted it at this point and it's being a lemon. And I don't know. Unfortunate. Nevertheless, thanks to the current 9 people watching along on the stream. Nice having you guys along. Look at the marbles being built up at the side of the circuit, by the way, as we go through Dunlop. Aptly so. The tyre manufacturer corner with the rubber at the side of it. Again, shout out to Vimto. Please sponsor me. Fantastic products. Gonna quickly have a check on the likes. See how many of you peasants have actually left a like. 4 at the moment. Thank you to all 4 of you who have done that. Who's supporting the stream, helping with the exposure. Again, hopefully Mika will be able to join us back soon. But even though he's gone for now, it's not like he's missing overly much as we're under full course caution. Making the way through Spoon, so about a third of the lap to go before we go green, as Mika has returned.
My wire also broke.
Oh.
So I was looking around for a while, but I couldn't find anything that worked.
So what are you using now, like an iPad charger or something?
No, it's like, yeah, I think it's for something, but it's like fucking 10 centimeters. Oh, sorry for swearing. It's like 10 centimeters long. I'm really stressed out.
Well, don't worry. We've just been under full course caution. We're restarting this time around. Be sure that you check the voltages as well, because different voltage ratings on chargers is what starts fires.
Oh no, it's just a wire.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll trust you on that one, Chief. But then again, wires have different ratings as well. Anyway,
yeah.
As they come across the timing line, we will go racing again. Round 8 and the finale of the ARS Racing Series GT, whatever it's called, the World GT Series. That's it. We are green once again. Apologies for getting my words mixed up. Wake gets a good jump over the rest of the field, it would seem, as look at this, the 2 ARS cars, in fact the 3 ARS cars nearly going to overtake each other as they make their way to turn 1. Everyone seems to hold station for now, although Fred again clipped the grass a little bit as they make their way into the S's. Rotary there as well, and of course Amuda, who managed to get their lap back.
Attack.
Joe indeed pressing the attack. Remember, Wake hasn't done their medium stint yet, so this full course caution has really hurt them, especially because they had like a 20-second lead before it.
Indeed. Well, it says Wake has pitted, but he hasn't changed it to the other tyre yet.
Yes, he's had a pit stop. He went from soft to soft at the moment, while Joe started on the medium, so Joe's in a very good position championship-wise, although Quinners seem to break away. The top 3 seem to be the ones that are breaking away. To the inside goes Joe! Manages to get the move to stick, and Quinners is being cheeky as well. He follows him through. Now, will he be able to outdrag the Porsche? I mean, will he be able to outdrag the Nissan, rather, in the Porsche as they go through? In fact, no, the Nissan re-overtakes the Mercedes on the run down to Spoon. Fantastic stuff.
What?
I don't even know. Look at this, that's all that squabbling. I mentioned the top 3 were breaking away. They haven't broke away at all now. It is a train. Choo-choo, peasants. Someone had that to famous quotes, I don't even know. As these guys explode, seem to go for an overtake, or looking at least, trying to put himself in the mirrors of teammate Quinners, as Joe, again being under attack from Quinners as they make their way through. Oh, look at that. Porsche really managing to close up as they make their way onto the straight. Look at it. I think the Porsche might... No, can't quite get the momentum to go alongside for a lunge. Backs out of it in the end. The Mercedes very slidey through there. That's going to open the door for Quinners on exit. Indeed, side by side through the S's, though the first part of the S's will indeed allow Joe to retake that position. But this squabbling is allowing Wake to get away. It's interfering with Joe's plans of championship domination. First the championship and then the world for the Joe 2 guy. Though he's not quite out of slipstream range, 1.2 seconds there. It's getting really close to the 1.3, in fact there it is. So Wake benefiting a lot from the squabble. Joe's really going to have to put in a shift to catch back up. He is doing. He's gained about a tenth or so through the Degners, but it's these ladder sectors that the Nissan is more effective in. Bit of a slide from Quinners. Doing an audio check. Yeah, okay, everything seems to be okay, I think. Wait, now with the 1.3 second gap, and here you see the delta fluctuating, going up a bit. Again, not as much as you might see with standard polyphony BLP. Hello again to Mika.
Yeah, I needed to clean stuff up before my parents got mad.
Oh, it's okay, lad, it's okay. Going into Cassia.
Have I missed a lot?
No, not really. Bit of Jack
One extra.
Wilkinson, I don't know. Although it looks like Quinners could be setting himself up for an overtake. As Wake trying to break the slipstream here. And everyone following him, they're snaking their way through. As there in the back, you can also see Rotary looking for an overtake. Look at this!
In the inside
He's still
side
to
by
the
side.
inside! Now will Joe be able to hang around to drive for this first part of the S's like he did last lap?
Yes, he will.
Indeed he did.
But will Quinners get back at him? Not yet.
The gap between Joe and Wake now 2 seconds.
Because we have about 30 minutes of racing left.
I think it was Rotary and Fred who was at least looking side by side from the perspective we had on the start finish straight. Rotary pulling out of the slipstream of someone at least. The gap between those two, 0.8 of a second. Let's focus back on what's happening here as we go down towards the hairpin. Second, third, fourth and fifth. Bit of a gap between sixth, then seventh following closely. I think it would be a good idea to
go for the move here. Just hanging back, maybe go for a move on straight.
Currently on board with Splurge, just having a look at this battle from the front camera of his car. Will we see the Porsche be able to make a move going into 130R? The Mercedes, do they go defensive? They, not particularly. Of course they'd lose time if they go defensive. Quinners, there you see, slight tap on the brakes. Into Casio they go. Then they close up, then they will expand again.
Is Roland going to try to make a move on Joe here?
Fred into the pits.
Slipstream, of course.
Okay, so Fred's just done their medium stint.
Oh, it's Roland's going around the outside again.
Does he get it to work? Oh, he might do. Look at this.
He might do. Oh!
Still side by side.
Is he going to make it work now for second
And look
position?
at this from Splurge.
Splurge is also following him. Oh, does Roland make the move stick? He makes the move stick.
Little bit of assistance from Splurge and the move is done. Fantastic work there between the two Arrows lads. That is really going to frustrate Joe in this championship fight. And look at this, James is really closed up now to the back of Splurge through all that squabbling. So second, third, fourth and fifth extremely close still. Will Roland be able to continue and get second place? We'll have to see. Still a lot of the race to go, of course. Oh, Splurge looking to go a little bit wide on exit. James also a bit shaky, putting the power down through the hairpin. Hello to Sota in chat. Nice having you along here. 15 viewers we're up to. Fantastic
17
numbers.
on my end.
Oh wow, fantastic stuff. Thanks to everyone who's tagging in. As there's a spin, someone's gone off in this pack.
No. It's Roland! Roland has gone off! Roland has lost second position!
We was just talking about whether he could hold on to it. Curse the commentator strikes Quinners. We're about to see what happened is probably again so easy to do at this circuit, Suzuka. Just go on the AstroTurf by overcooking it into a corner by a fraction. It looks like, yep. And then he loops it as we've seen on so many occasions. Apologies for the curse of the commentator there.
Sad stuff for Roland here.
He's down in, well, he's up to fourth now, so something's happened to James. What's happened to James? James is now down to sixth and under attack from Fred Dude. A Splurge! Oh, look at this Splurge! Had a bit of a mistake, and then James ran wide and James span out.
It's all going wrong.
And now look, they're side by side here, going through turn one, Fred and James. We're having another replay of this shortly. Does Fred manage to make it stick?
Oh, he's making a little bit of contact. Oh, James goes off! James is into the gravel.
We're gonna have to see another replay. So here it was. So James goes defensive to Fred. Fred has to look to the outside and then gets a fantastic run through turn 1, slots to the inside, and hopefully the replay doesn't cut off. There's a bit of contact here. That's really unfortunate for James. Drops him down to 7th. So a combination of 2 incidents sees him down the order. Again, I can't give opinions on incidents as I'm a commentator. Plus that was one of my cars involved, so I ain't saying anything. Leave all the stewarding to the stewards. I've already gotten enough trouble this season. 5 seconds the gap between Wake and Joe. Wake still yet to do their mediums, so it isn't all over for Joe. In fact, now Joe back into 2nd, and with a bit of a gap over Splurge. Not broken slipstream, but a gap nevertheless. He should be able to pick up the pace a bit and try and mount a bit of a challenge here. Also, hello to both Stig and James. Jimmy rather, in chat. Nice having you guys along. The TSR crew tuning in to the finale, seeing how both their drivers, Joe and Wake, in this championship battle get along. As into the pits goes James. They're switching onto a different well, they're switching onto a new set of tyres. They're fueling up as well. Are they going to rejoin at the back? I think they are.
May I also add, Joe does need to have 2 positions in between him and Wake to win the championship, because as of now Wake has the fastest lap of the race.
He does indeed. That's an extra point going Wake's way. That is a very good spot there by your 157.7. It's fantastic pace by the Belgian.
It's a full-on whipping excursion, bringing that dirty here on Nukeshot Media.
I'm gonna see if I can compare some of that with the times Joe has been setting as of late. He set a 159.0 on lap 29 last time out. He was setting mid to high 158s before that, so not able to match the raw pace of Wake at this stage. As I mentioned, far from over. We've already seen many people make mistakes and spin out. Who knows what will happen? The gap, 5.5 seconds. So even though Wake set fastest lap not too long ago, the gap not breaking away overly much, only 5/10 gained by Wake on this lap. Still a bit, especially in racing terms, but not like a full-on second or so. Crucially as well, Joe has managed to break the slipstream he was giving Splurge, so he should be able to find a bit of pace. Oh, bit of a mistake there from Joe. He very nearly did what everyone else did and looped it. That was extremely marginal. Oh, let's see this one again. This camera's probably best to see it. Here we go. You can see the margins. He's really pushing right on the limits. All over the marbles, just managing to avoid the AstroTurf. That is going to bring Splurge back into the slipstream range, so forget everything I just said. It's normally good protocol on this channel to forget everything I say. Oh, so the TSR guy's having a Discord call at the moment.
Bit of a mad thing here. All this action, we just can't keep up anymore.
We have a battle for 5th and 6th, Mika, between Rotary and Fred, dude.
I sees that, my guy. Fred holding back right now, maybe he's gonna get a run on the back straight here. Fred carrying a lot of speed through there. A better exit.
Yeah, seems to get it. Doesn't have to slot into the slipstream. It's a drag race between the Jaguar and the BMW.
Looks like the Jaguar is winning it right now. Fred still hanging back. Fred pulling out of the slipstream into the Casio triangle.
Oh,
He's going to try to outbrake him. No, he isn't. But he's going to get the exit here.
looking to the outside and now back to the inside, trying to see if the door is open. Back to the slipstream for Fred.
Fred looking for a gap, but he can't seem to find that gap in the slipstream. Ooh, did it make a bit of contact there?
Oh, maybe the slightest nudge there between the two of them.
They're side by side.
Rotary just holding on to the place. Oh, that looked a bit deep there for Rotary.
Oh, as it goes around the outside, maybe.
I think the natures of the S's might have saved Rotary there. The constant switching from left to right. Managed to naturally able to hold on to the position there as Fred had to change line. But now looking through Dunlop, Fred to the inside. It's quite a long corner, it's
coming to the
Dunlop.
deckness. Rotary not giving an inch to Fred here.
As someone has span at turn 1, or is at least not moving.
Virtual damage for via Amuda.
Look at this, still side by side. We're going to have to focus on this as the race director checks out. I believe it's a single car incident, so probably no full course caution, but still side by side between Fred Dude and Rotary as they make their way down towards Spoon. What on earth happened there? What on earth happened there?
Absolutely shambolic.
The Rotary saying he's sorry.
Whoa.
Oh, that's probably a full course caution in itself. Heavy damage.
It has to be.
What on earth? We're going to have to see both on boards of it. It looked like either netcode or some weird weaving. I have no
Maybe
idea.
trying to close a door? I don't know. That was a lot.
Oh. Okay. So it would seem there was a slight tap. Rotary gave Fred to the back of him, and that seemed to might have unsettled the car. We're gonna see it again from Rotary's perspective. One for the steward, perhaps.
Maybe netcode.
There's
maybe
the
a little
initial
bit as well.
contact, and then very unusually just snaking it there. Normally GT cars are a bit more stable than that.
It was a lot of speed though.
It was, to be fair. Was the full course caution called then for that?
Yeah. They're under full course caution right now.
The car's coming to the pits. Wake leading these guys. Now you think, depending on how long this full course caution is, will Wake switch over to the mediums at the end of this lap to see if he can serve a couple of those medium laps under the full course caution, where he's not losing time?
I would guess so. He's doing that. It would be the smartest choice.
Or actually, no, he's on a very fresh set of softs. So he's gone from soft to soft to soft, which is an interesting call. So he's probably going to have to do the mediums on the very last stint. He's running out of laps in order to do so.
He can maybe do mediums now. So it's better for strategy. Because he gets him out of the way, and he won't lose any positions on track, I think, if he does it now.
He will lose track position because the train has caught up to him. So if the pits were right here and he had to rejoin, he would be in 5th.
But yeah, and he's right. He's still with the rest of the guys.
That is true, though. He would be on the medium and everyone else on the softs. And you got to think a lot of these guys are also going to take advantage of this. Look at Joe, who's taken advantage on so many people are on fresh softs, so everyone must have pitted immediately as they saw the full course caution come out, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to restart this lap immediately.
But
we're missing someone all the way at the back.
Amuda, I think they're expecting Amuda to be able to catch up by that point. It'd be close, but he might just be able to make it. Hopefully he won't have a slingshot because of it, but it's going to be close. I think, because there's a straight section, he should be able to. Bold decision by race director. Nevertheless,
I think he's going to make it.
Yeah, he should be alright. He's heading up to 130 on now, though these guys are at Casio and going through.
No, he's not going to make it.
No, I don't think he is. But we're about to go green again as they come across the timing line. We are green once again here at Suzuka for the finale of the ARS World GT Series. 11 laps remaining on the timing. The top two still leading in the championship, the top two positions, 3 points separating them. Wake leading by those 3 points would go on to win the championship unless they finished third and Joe won.
No, fourth.
Fourth is it now? Okay, because of the bonus point.
Yeah, there's 3 points. Joe needs one position in between Wake and him to win, but Wake still had the fastest lap, so they will tie. So Joe needs another position.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Oh no. Also, Amelia's saying in chat, Rotator rotated too much. It's a very valid point. As actually, we're seeing a battle for second between Splurge and Joe at the hairpin. What happened here? Splurge go deep, try Max Verstappen cutback. He sent it on the inside, and it was Joe getting the cutback. Was Joe gonna have to do his best to not lose any time to Wake? Though actually, looking at the fuel, do you think Joe can go to the end of the race here? And because of the mandatory running of a second compound, Wake could be completely up a creek without a paddle here because of these full course cautions, since he's still not done a stint on mediums.
I think that Joe can go to the end of there. Easily, I think. Maybe fuel's going to be a bit tight, but...
Well, they must have calculated it because they've not long had a pit stop, so they would have fueled it more if they didn't think they could go to the end. So Joe is in a really good position here, and Wake possibly set to lose more positions, but look at this.
Splurge.
Splurge goes up alongside, has the outside line for turn one. Joe stays deep, collision between the two of them. Somehow Splurge stays on track. Joe loses a position, but somehow Splurge stayed on track there. That was heart in mouth moments there for the two of them, and us here in the booth as well.
Not a little bit.
So Joe demoted to third. It's been a good showing from both ARS Racing Porsches in this race. They've been really mixing it up in the top of the order.
Joe trying to get a position back.
Splurge a bit wide.
Does he also have a battle for fifth?
Oh, as Roland actually goes for a move on the inside of Joe. Do they manage to get it to stick? Joe, slight break of traction. Manages to stay ahead for now. Although there's damage with
virtual damage.
And Joe has damage as well. It must have been...
no!
It must have been something that happened at the hairpin. Maybe...
If this is a full course caution, this could work out really well for Wake.
I'm not sure if it will be, considering all the cars are still moving. I think it was just a light bit of contact in the braking zone. Yep, still green, as I thought, from the steward.
They're still side by side, Roland on the inside, but also look at James there. James also trying to find
this is going to end in tears. He's going to have to rejoin safely. He's trying to defend for all his life.
Side by side with Fred.
The race is slipping through Joe's fingers.
And they make contact both sides.
Joe has to go into the pits. That could potentially be the end of Joe's championship hopes.
It has all gone wrong.
I assume because it's rear aero damage for Joe and front aero damage for Quinners, I can only take from that there must have been front to rear contact between the two of them.
Yeah, it was front to rear contact.
That's at least my assessment from what we have here. Unfortunately, we missed actually getting a replay of it. But all that kerfuffle, really unfortunate for the Joe 2 guy. as Wade continues to extend the gap. But look at this, 4th and 5th. Fred Dude on attack of James. BMW versus Aston Martin. Front of that BMW looking quite battered and bruised.
versus Germany. Oh no, that's really wrong.
Germany.
That sounded.
Oh wait. No, you meant manufacturers.
No.
My bad. I thought you meant.
Yeah, but that also sounded a bit wrong.
No, World Cup. We mean the World Cup. That's what we're meaning.
Yeah, the World Cup. The World Cup. Always was.
Please monetize me.
It's gone.
Yeah, no, nothing's coming home, Chief. No, we've grown used to disappointment. But yeah, I at first thought that you got the Belgian flag confused with the German flag for a second there, because of course Fred is Belgian.
You almost convinced me as well that I thought I said the wrong flag.
Yeah.
Then I realized, no, I meant manufacturers. Oh,
look
it's
at this.
Roland letting James pass. Oh,
James, Roland goes wide. Roland goes wide. He's going to have to rejoin
but Fred is also going already outside.
Fred's outbroken himself.
Oh, Fred goes deep.
He's sliding.
Oh no, he's going everywhere. Fred now falling down to 6th. I've never been such high tones. Oh, he almost takes a rotary rhythm. Jeez.
We're going to have to see an onboard of this.
Jeebus.
On board here, so Quinn goes wide. Fred on the outside outbrakes himself, and then on the AstroTurf, difficult to regain traction. Avoids contact. Good avoidance there by Rotary, seeing the incident unfold and staying out of the way from picking up damage.
Staying out of the way.
Really?
Yes.
This is someone who I choose to work with, by the way. I don't pay him, but like, there's contact between.
As he pushes off Rotato! Rotary has gone off.
Another one we're gonna have to see. What happened here? We're gonna have to look. I'm gonna say someone also went off at turn 1. I don't know who that was. It was a while ago. It's on the replay. They're the closing speed, and that sent Rotary off into the gravel. Tension's very high at this stage. Adrenaline at boiling point. Hello to Nilsson chat, by the way, and Tomsoft as well. Nice having you guys joining the action.
Another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust, indeed. Oh, who's going to be next? And another one gone. And another one gone. And probably a copyright strike, or I don't know.
Oh, I know. Another one.
Through all the... Oh, DJ Khaled is joining me in the booth.
You smart. You precious.
James goes wide at Casio. I thought there was a battle unfolding between them and Quinners, but that mistake allows Quinners easily past, and Fred Dude now catching up to the back of them.
And I'm also sorry for everyone's ears for me just screaming.
Oh no, it's good. It's good for the hype, and that we've passed 250 comments, by the way, on stream. Fantastic seeing you guys actively.
Big up to everyone in chat, innit? Oi.
Big up yourselves, cuz.
Big up yourselves, cuz. Oi, everyone, big up yourselves in your chat, innit?
So Fred Dude with the front aero damage. So another case of front aero damage to one car, rear aero damage to another, with Rotato being involved in that incident with Fred earlier, as someone has span at turn 1 again. I don't know who that is, but I'm just quickly looking side by side. Fred and James.
Lost the car.
Was it Rotary back there?
Rotary or Amuda.
Rotary might be struggling a bit because of that rear aero damage, but it's difficult to cut away because Fred on the attack of James. I think he's trying to set up a cutback, is he? He's down the inside of the Aston. Can't quite get the run. Okay, I'm gonna have to see if I can see something that happened. Okay, it was a Muda that ran wide at turn 1 initially, and then Rotary seemed to oversteer it and yeah, put dirt on the tyres. Of course, rear aero damage not helping their case.
I'm exhausted after this race.
Oh, same. Oh dear, I wish I could do this for a living.
Oh, it would be so fun.
Wake into the pits.
As Wake now comes in first pit stop.
Look at the lap count. This has to be for mediums.
It has to be. Are we going to see them medium tires?
Where's he rejoin?
We are.
Where's he rejoin? He's going to rejoin in second.
Second. Jinx.
What, does that mean I have to shut up for the rest of the stream now or something?
Yeah, it's my stream now, not you.
So, Wake in second. Now, what happened to Joe? Everything happened to Joe. I think it's fair to say.
It's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
We need sad violin music for Joe.
Yeah, we need some Fs in chat for Joe. Of course, you can always check back on the stream again. We covered that when it happened. It was all very, very hectic indeed. Rotary and Amuda both going into the pits. Meanwhile,
F's for Joe. Prayers.
There we go.
Prayers for my boy Joe.
Oh dear, what on earth are we doing with our lives?
I don't know.
The gap between...
This actually has made me go crazy.
Yeah, same. The gap between James and Fred, meanwhile, seems to have opened up a bit. Meanwhile, Amuda in 7th. To quote Jeremy Clarkson, they're not last, they're second to last.
They're second to last.
And considering...
It's a bit more hype. I'm not last! I'm second to last.
And considering that they were a lap down and they were allowed to get their lap back when the full course caution came out, being ahead of anyone, this is a great result for Amuda at the moment. They're on soft.
Big up Amuda.
They're holding their own at the moment, though they are on a bit of an island by themselves.
Wake also catching up really quickly to Splurge again. We're going to see a battle for first coming up really soon.
Of course, Splurge on worn softs, trying to get a bit past their best. Wake on medium, so naturally less grip, but very, very fresh indeed. And we know the GTR strengths, it likes the straights. The Porsche strengths, it likes the corners. Things are going to be very interesting as we go into these closing stages of the race. 5 laps to go here at Suzuka.
Ken Wake bringing home in first for the first SRF ARS World GT World Championship. That's a mouthful.
Indeed. The championship, unless something very dramatic happens like a disconnect or something, I think is going Wake's way at this rate due to what happened to Joe. But Wake no doubt will want to finish off the season with a win.
Wake having had absolutely some ups and downs, especially at Monza. Having been crashed into reset cars 3 times, but still coming in for a good comeback. Wake, the comeback king, I may say so.
Rotor into the pits. I don't know why. The team isn't working on the car. I think they're calling it a day here, Chief. They're not working on it.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a day for Paradox and G4 Rotato. I think it's a day, yeah.
Now I could be wrong. Have the ARS Racing team themselves, the main team of the Porsches, had a win the entire season?
No, only podiums. I think, yeah, Roland got their first podium, I think.
Yeah, I believe that was at Laguna Seca, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was buzzed up. He was absolutely buzzed.
Yes, he was quite desperate for an interview, if I recall.
yeah.
Of course, we will be having post-race interviews again. So after the action has concluded, be sure to stay in tune for that. The gap has closed down by just a couple tenths between Splurge and Wake as James goes into the pits.
But we're also gonna probably see a double ARS Racing team podium. Maybe also if Splurge can hold on their first win.
Yes, and what a way to finish the season for the series organisers that would be.
Indeed, Splurge, and from experience knowing that Splurge is a really good driver, I still despise him for Fuji and he has season 5.
Oh dear.
That McLaren was so annoying.
Ah dear. All good stuff in the end though. There you see Wake in the back of shot. The gap has come down between
2
Splurge and Wake.
seconds now. Almost
Splurge,
within slipstream.
yeah, Splurge seemed to make a bit of a mistake. They're running a bit wide through on exit of Degner 2. So the tyres are starting to give up a bit of their grip, but Wake, again, looking quite strong on some of these faster sections, as we would expect. Things looking very good for the Belgian at the moment.
Everyone now just big chilling at the moment.
I think everyone's in bring the cars home mode at this stage. Now Quinners, who did have front aero damage for a lot of this latter stage of the race, still has it now.
Yeah, he's still running with that damage.
That was probably a good call by them to stay out, because they've managed to inherit third position by others pitting and such, and they've managed to potentially get a podium by holding on. But
Wake now
Fred closing in on them.
1.7 seconds behind Splurge. This can come down to the wire for a win.
You got to think, if the GTR gets in slipstream range with a lap to go, it is going to be a battle to the flag.
Oh, I need that. I need me some screaming action in it.
Oh, you know something's going to happen.
Oh, I bet it will.
I'm just looking at the back again. Joe and Fred, championship rivals from the NES Season 5, if you recall. Those two very close together on circuit as well. Bit of an old rivalry there. Fred with front aero damage, another damaged car. Joe, who repaired their damage from earlier on, looking to perhaps gain at least a position for pride at this point.
Wake almost in within slipstream. Wake is within slipstream at the moment. 1.3, no, 1.4.
Yep.
Falling back a bit.
The Degner seem to be where the Porsche is very, very good at those sort of high-speed kinks, and of course the S's as well.
Wake now trying to catch up with Splurge. For the absolute matching that's going on at the moment, I don't know how I need to react to this. This was a mad race. I like this for my last race, a lot of action.
Yeah, what a finale it's been. An endurance round. Now, of course, with it being scheduled for 90 minutes, we're past the 90-minute mark, by the way. We have had no shortage of action, and indeed Wake into the slipstream as they go on to the straight towards 130R. Now, will the Dirty Air affect the GTR? The GTR hasn't been running behind anyone really that much during the race, so perhaps the Dirty Air could be a factor, as well as those medium tyres. A lot less grip for them than they're used to.
Splurge low on fuel.
Yeah, I think they should be able to make it. It's going to be marginal for them, but I think they might have enough. Maybe a bit of short shifting.
So coming up on the last 2 laps of this race. Fred and Joe are still fighting it out as well.
Yeah, Fred, even with the front aero damage, doesn't seem to be affecting the straight line speed too much, is it? Oh! Just managed to hold on.
Fred really quick through the first corner.
Yeah, even though he does push it to the limit, we saw him overstep that limit, of course, in the early stages, spinning out. Finds himself in 4th at the moment. Amunda with vehicle damage. He's all by himself on circuit. That's going to be staying green. Single car incidents, of course, doing that. Splurge goes with a mistake, actually, through Degner 2. I mentioned the Porsche quite good through there. Bit of a mistake from them on this occasion. Gonna go on board.
The traction is not really working out in Wake's way, but he is well within slipstream now. Catching up as much as he can.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Churchill Car Insurance, please sponsor me as well. This whole race is just one big advertisement for me. It's been fantastic. So I need a sip of my Vimto raspberry and all sorts.
Big up Salamander Man. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, he's within 4 tenths now.
it's going to come down to the last lap. Will Splurge be able to defend? In fact, it might come down to the straight. I think the GTR, if they can stay close in Casio, which they're not able to do, the Porsche gets a far better run through there. Splurge has a decent chance of defending.
I may wet myself if it's coming down to the last line.
You should have put a towel down first while you still can.
Yeah. Fat Quintus Sven, you've joined in a bit too late. He has damage, but he is running in third.
But his teammate, at the moment, in the lead of this race, as we're on the final lap of the season, Will Splurge.
Oh, it's Fred and Joe. Joe's on the outside of Fred. Now up into the inside. Joe hanging back.
Fred just about manages to defend that one, again thanks to the circuit nature, but Joe all over the back of him.
Splurge goes off! Wake is into the lead!
Splurge makes a mistake through Dunlop, do they? We're about to see what happened to them on the replay. What was it? They just put the power down a bit too early, and indeed, under pressure, such an easy thing to do. The car just carried wide, very good to recover on that, but that is going to put Wake into the lead of the race with a 2-second gap. It could be curtains.
I imagine Wake smiling very much right now. Relief coming over him into the last sector, almost into the last sector of this race. As Amuda is standing still at the pit entry, I don't know what he's doing. He's probably waiting for Wake to finish.
I don't know.
Wake flashing his lights. He knows his time has come.
Fastest lap of the race. Qualified third, if you recall.
Get Joe do something as well, maybe into the last corner. And the Casio. He's sending it.
It is going to be TSR Wake, champion of ARS World GT Series. Congratulations to them.
Splurge let Roland past. Roland second.
Quinners second in the end of things. Splurge third. Fred Dude fourth. Joe fifth. James sixth. Amuda a lap down. There was waiting to be a lap down, I think, is what it was. And Rotary won't finish the race. They're in 8th. So that's going to continue the 2-minute 30 cooldown timer. It is TSR Wake, champion of ARS World GT Series, and taking the win here today at Suzuka. Congratulations to them. And congratulations to Simpak Gojira as well for, I believe, securing the team's championship. Fantastic effort by them. Fastest lap as well. A fantastic drive and strategy, and everything seemed to go their way in the end. Congratulations.
Can I also have the points for finishing in 9th place?
Finishing in 9th? No one finished 9th. Oh, is that the point? Oh yeah, because you started in the safety car, of course. Oh dear. I don't think they'll let you get away with that one, Chief. Here are your results then. 5.7 seconds in the end between Wake and Quinners. Quinners taking 2nd place after Splurge let them through. Both ARS Racing Team cars on the podium. Fred Dude finishes 4th, 7 seconds back from the leaders. Again, that was very close between them and Splurge, actually. Only a few tenths in it.
That was lucky.
And then the Joe 2 guy as well, only a couple tenths back from that. 6th place went the way of James. One of the few times I think that James has had a worse race than the main ARS Racing team, and that could actually have quite an influence on the championship regarding those two teams, indeed, with 2 Porsches scoring quite highly here. Amuda coming home in 7th.
Splurge was out of fuel!
Oh! Splurge was out of fuel this whole time, apparently. He was in mix 6.
You're welcome, Wake.
I'm gonna see if I can interview the top 3. What a race it was. A fantastic way to conclude the season. Again, thanks to everyone who's been a part of it. Thanks to all the viewers we've had as well. Interviews coming your way shortly. Be sure to leave a like on the stream if you're enjoying, or if you've enjoyed the action we've had all season long. It's been a fantastic project indeed. And of course, be sure to subscribe with notifications in order to see when the next championship comes around on the channel. So we're now going to see if we can get these guys in the booth for some fire. ART Splurge. It was Roland Jupiter, and of course it was race winner TSR Wake. Invites sent.
Oh yeah, let's invite Hagi after the thing.
Well, after the interviews?
Yeah, no.
Oh, for an interview, is that what you mean?
Yeah, the thing, you know.
I don't recall what thing you might be referring to. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, you're here too.
Hello guys.
I'll invite him anyway.
Wakey boy.
Hello, Wake. Congratulations, you are ARS World GT Series champion. How do you feel?
Thanks boys. Thanks boys. It was a great series. Very interesting racing. It was I thought it was a good race. I had a good race, good pace. I thought it was going to be easy during the race, but then the safety car kind of like threw the strategy around. So I knew I knew I was going to go on the medium tires at the end, but then if I had a gap, then it would be beneficial for me. But with the safety car, everything came together again. So I thought, if I had the 5 last laps on mediums while Joe behind me is on soft, then it would be very difficult. So it's a very unfortunate for Joe to have an accident. Otherwise, it would be one hell of a final. But nonetheless, thanks guys for the host. Thanks for racing. And I'll see you around, guys. Thanks for everything.
No problem as well. There is our champion of ARS World GT Series here on Nukeshot Media. Congratulations to you. Of course, I believe they also secured the team's championship as well for Simpact, Gojira and Nissan.
I have to say thank you for Simpact guys. I mean, they did a tremendous job. We did this season like an unbelievable result. So very happy for the team. So very happy taking part as well.
Congrats, work.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations again.
Over to second place if he's here. Is Quinners here? Quinners, second place, best result of the season. You must be well chuffed with this.
Yeah, I am. I got about the skin of my teeth with my teammate Nathan on the field there at the end. We were up and down the track, let's say, especially me, and swinging out multiple times. I'd also like to apologise to Joe for hitting him. I gave him damage there towards the end, I think. It was a solid race. I thought Nathan drove really well, so was our other teammate ART James. I thought all of us together were pretty quick enough to do well, and especially we knew Joe would be heavy and Wake heavy enough. I just say like well done to us and well done to Wake as well for being solid all around.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, congratulations on a fantastic result today. And over to third place man if he's here. ART Splurge, hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm so annoyed that I didn't fuel myself properly at the last safety car. I should have won that.
I was saying when I was commentating, I was like, is he gonna make an unfuel? I was like,
ran
oh,
out of
he's
fuel
just...
on the line. Amuda bumped him over the line, so shout out Amuda.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah, no. I mean, ultimately, this race, Suzuka is such a punishing circuit, and I think realistically, both Wake and Joe were given an injustice for both of them finished, and actually by how far Wake won as well, because neither of them put a foot wrong really the whole race, and the rest of us did. I mean, I spun out and made plenty of mistakes through the race. It was the safety cars that brought me back into it. But yeah, no, underfueling myself definitely made life more interesting for the closing stages. But yeah, no, I mean, losing it coming out of Sector 1 was definitely the final nail in the coffin, but I wasn't confident I'd be able to hold off Wake for a lap whilst running in Mix 3. But yeah, I mean, it's a race. It's another one of our wacky races which produced something a bit interesting. And yeah, very, very much congratulations to Wake and commiserations to Joe. He has driven a fantastic season. Is probably, for me, is one of the most respected drivers on the grid, and he has earned that instead of it being an entitlement for him. And I feel like that is the highest statement you can really give to a driver.
I think this is one of the best organized racing series I've ever seen. Also, pace-wise and action-wise, it's I think one of the best. It's up there with the NES, but of course NES is supreme.
He's definitely not contracted to say that, by the way. That is Mika's official opinion. But of course, for a theme of the majority of the season, it's become a little bit of a running joke, is the second team of Arrows Racing Blue and James always finishing ahead of the two main team Arrows Racing Porsches. Well,
it's a sister team.
Okay.
It's a second team.
There's no
It's a B team.
There's no hierarchy.
We understand the dynamic, okay. But this time,
if we were able to run 3 cars in the same team, we would, but we made the rules so that we couldn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was going to point out is both Porsches made it onto the podium this time out.
Finally.
So, congratulations on that. No.
Such a git of a car.
She's a real beauty. She's a big Bertha.
Again, everyone, be careful. This is a family-friendly channel, as we say.
Lewis called Mercedes a diva. He's got nothing compared to how the rear end on this Porsche behaves.
Oh, thanks. I need to drive that car for GTME as well. Thank you.
Oh, great.
Honestly, if you can get it to the finish line, you have all my respect. Like,
I have like 15 now. I think 3,500 Ks in that car. So
yeah, it changes his mind like all the time.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, this thing actually has pace. You go to practice in the lobby or qualifying. Like, why am I like?
What? Sorry.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm
what-
getting off it. I
Little
think
tangent.
Brandon has something to say as well.
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to thank all the drivers up and down the grid for providing another great season of racing. I'm really proud to call ARS mine, as well as I'm sure you guys are proud of the results you've got and the fact that you're able to participate and stuff like that. So I'd firstly like to say thanks to everyone for that. Secondly, I'd like to congratulate Wick on winning the driver's title, and of course
Thanks, Higgy.
him and his team winning the teams.
Thanks, Yuki.
And I also have a juicy announcement to make.
Oh, here we go. Rubbing my hands together for this one.
Reddish, this is the thing.
So for everyone who's watching, and we'll probably clip this and put it in the server, next season of ARS will be Touring Car Championship Season 2. It is all going to be broadcast live here on Nukeshot Media. Another thank you I'd like to say to you guys for casting this. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed watching the broadcasts.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
You guys always do a really good job.
I'm gonna regret this.
Thank you. But yeah, look forward to that thread coming in 2 weeks. ARS Touring Car Championship season.
Of course, fantastic news there to hear. Of course, some things that you can also look forward to. We're going to be doing an ARS rewind race of the first touring car season, I believe, done by the ARS lads. That was at Suzuka. Turned out to be a fantastic race, something to watch out for on the channel. Also, you can check out already on the channel, we already did 2 races of the previous season, the Nukeshot race of California and the season finale from Touring Car Season 1, so be sure to check that out as well.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to.
What a season it has been. We hope you've all enjoyed it here on the Nukeshot Media YouTube channel. We certainly have. Thank you to everyone who's made it possible. Thank you to the organisers. Thank you to the teams. Thank you to Jack Wilkinson. Thank you to...
Big up. But
yes.
Also, one more thing.
Of course.
Just as you do me outro.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. Of course.
Go ahead.
Right now I'm thinking about this, and if everyone allows me to, I'd rather commentate Season 2 of ARSTCC.
Mate,
He's
I'd
not
love
done
you
with
to.
it.
I'd love you to. Honestly.
I'd be happy to have you back in the booth for this, mate. You've done a fantastic
It's
job
just
all
too
season.
sad to leave. I'd rather take it easy with racing and just do Saturdays first.
Yeah, man.
So you'll
We'll
see me
talk
back season
more
2.
anyway. We'll let Radish finish.
Yeah.
Wrap up, yeah.
Alright.
Oh,
Wrap it up, my guy.
yeah. No, of course.
Thank you to
you.
all the viewers too for tuning in
All the fans.
as well.
Many thanks to everyone.
Best
Of
fans.
The best things.
course. And that concludes the season. Again, hope you've all enjoyed it. Again, as Hagee mentioned, we will be back for future content, including ARS World, the Touring Car Championship. I nearly said World GT Series again. It's been ingrained in my head that much. Nevertheless, we hope to see you then. From all of us here at Nukeshot Media, it's goodbye from us.